Hey guys, welcome to TheCorner, where we talk about anime, manga, and everything in between. Today, we're talking about Little Witch Academia, Episode 1. Yes, you guys, this is an episode by episode review. In this episode, we have little Akka, who is watching a witch perform her little magic tricks, showing the audience on how well versed she is in her magic and how good witches can actually be. Well, from what I can gather at least, because she's going throughout the whole session throwing stars, galaxy type situations, and just kind of trying to wow the crowd and what's going on, even going as far as bringing out a monster and disappearing into the distance, telling them to keep magic into their hearts, which Akka actually takes to heart. Now Akka is nowhere near a witch. She is not full-blooded witch or anything like that. Apparently she is a normal human. But she was so enticed by the performance that she ends up just going to the Witches Academy in the first place. And this is where our story really begins, when she's trying to find the bus stop to get to the school. Going to Lunar Nova was going to be harder than she expected, and she was running around asking for this bus stop that didn't exist. Finally, she puts two and two together and sees this tower up on the hill and starts going there. Oh, I found it! I found the bus stop, it's pretty much what she was doing, and walks along the way. This is when she encounters Saucy. Saucy is a depressing witch, an emo type witch who ends up tricking her in a lot of different ways, making her a little stuffed animal into a living thing that pecks her in the eye, which, by the way, gave her a black eye. And when she went running after Saucy, her eye was not black anymore. Come on, guys. Consistency. Whew. Anyways, when she catches back up with Saucy, she starts to bug her a little bit more. She's kind of that annoying girl who just wants attention up to a point and trying to make some friends, so I can't doubt her for that one, I guess. But Saucy wasn't going to have it, so she ends up tricking her one more time, making her think that there's snakes around her, and she falls into the stream. She then gets up and says, she is such a rude person. So finally, she makes it to the tower where three witches are talking about the spring break and how horrible it went and stuff like that, and talking about how, and this is when you find out that she's not a witch. And they're like, well, apparently that one of the new students is not a witch. And she pops up, and Curry's like, oh god, they're talking about me, and ends up turning around, and those three witches were like, hey, who are you? I'm Akira, a new student. And they're like, oh, so you're the human. She's like, yeah, so we're at the bus stop now? And they're like, what, bus stop? No, this is the broom station. We ride our brooms up to the portal. And they just start mocking her at that point. It's not making her feel the best. Finally, they escape up into the portal, and she tries to climb the area to get up to the portal, because she doesn't have a broom, she doesn't have magical powers to do so. Finally, she comes across another witch that ends up trying to help. When I say trying to help her, I mean she kind of begged her to help her. So this is when we meet Luda. Luda ends up being a little bit of a nicer witch and ends up helping her out and bringing her through the portal. What ends up happening though is she brings a salt type product in with her, and the area doesn't like salt. Lunar Nova area is just not what you do, so she was asked to discard it, but in the process she loses her treasure, a card of the witch she saw at the very beginning. And this causes them to go out of control and hit into Saucy, who ends up going with them to a forbidden forest now, because they get knocked off track in this warp hole type situation. Akka, Luta, and Saucy are now in a place we're not supposed to be. This becomes problematic actually, because then they end up literally in a spot of danger. But Saucy takes the opportunity to make it even worse by putting them in a little wooden barrier and summon a cockatree, which puts people into stone. Yeah. So they start running, and she grabs her cockatree feather and then the Kakashi starts attacking him, while the other two are a little bit in danger while they were falling down. Akka ends up saving the day by getting everybody up and then picking up the light rod that her original person that she met ends up having. So she has it now and goes into battle trying to face off against the Kakashi. Well, she ends up chasing it to the plant they met earlier that was about to eat them, and they end up trying to fly off at this point. When the Kakashi ends up breaking free of the trap and chasing after him through the. Luckily, a teacher took notice of this and was in the forest to help them out, but she ends up telling them a spell that they need to know for the light rod, which Akka hears in some way, shape, or form, and cants a spell with light rod, which gives them her the ability to cast a spell. So I'm guessing this rod is going to be something very important to her to be able to use her any type of magical ability in the first. They make it to the academy and the ceremony area, making a grand entrance and being told that they are lucky that they were even allowed to enroll, and pushed into the same room at this point where Akka introduces herself again. Hi, I'm Akka! And this is where it ends. So there has been a lot with this anime that I did enjoy. So for our first episode, it did have a good eye catcher. At the beginning with the witch's performance and everything like that was very alluring and shows a good character distinction in the first place for Akka. Akka was there. She knew what magic was, and she got taught pretty much by this witch to always believe in the magic in your heart type situation. And she ends up taking that completely to heart here. So her character is a bit more childish than the other two that we're going to be apparently going to be with Luda and Sase. Sase's going to be the angry rump who likes to cause trouble for Akka, it may be, and Nuta is going to be probably Aki's best friend in the end, and they're probably going to have a very, very fun time. This first episode was really good in the fact that the art itself was really well drawn out. It's an art style I haven't really seen much in for a while, and I really do enjoy the art style. It's cutesy, but not too cutesy, and it kind of goes with the theme of the anime as well. There's not much that can be taken away from the art design at this point in time. The storyline is in-depth and has what it needs to continue on, and pushes you to want to watch the next episode to see what kind of crazy adventures she gets into next. Now, yes, I know, I ended up saying that dead-ended animes first episodes kind of leave less of the imagination and makes you not need to come back in because they completed that situation of the storyline. But they brought this out to the point where it intrigues you and you want to see her grow. You want to see what happens to her in the next episode, and from that point. This anime seems to really keep you entertained into it, and they did a really good job on that with character development and just storyline in general. They did a great job in that first episode to show everything that they will be putting forth into this anime. Me myself, I can't wait to get to the next episode, and so until the next episode, you guys, which I do recommend this anime to you guys, I hope you guys have a great day and a fun one as well.